Welcome back, guys. You are just joining us on INX Prime. Remember, we are on your screens every single Monday to Friday between the hours of 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Now, we are joined in studio by Miriam Abu Bakr as well as Mohammed Razak. Now, they are here to discuss the impactful movement called Red Card for Israel. Now, this initiative is a collaborative effort involving multiple different community organizations that are united to raise awareness and show solidarity with Palestine. Now, the event spans across Cape Town and Benoni, highlighting the importance of unity and collective action. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to INX Prime to both of you.
Alaikum salam. It's so good to be here.
It's a pleasure having you both. I just wanted to chat to you guys about this event. I know that a lot of our audience is very excited to hear more about this event in particular, but I will start off first with you, Mohammed. You know, just talking about this Red Card for Israel event in particular. Firstly, tell us more about the event and also what type of message are you hoping to convey in terms of this event?
Okay, so that's a brilliant question. I just want to correct you on one thing, that the entire crux of the program is taking place in Lodium, right? So the Lodium community will be hosting it. We are working with groups from Benoni. They're playing a very pivotal role, as well as groups from Cape Town. And what we're trying to promote is the Red Card Israel campaign. We're basically pushing for FIFA to ban, remove Israel from any of the events, matches, games, you name it. So this event is focused around spreading awareness for that and getting people engaged, because we understand how important sports is when it comes to the atrocities that Israel is committing, especially drawing the parallels to Apartheid South Africa and what a pivotal role banning the Apartheid government from sports played to end that regime. So that's what we're pushing through the campaign.
No, I think it's such a brilliant event, and I know that it is going to involve, kind of a tournament in that sense, where there is going to be a football game and also a youth tournament and so many other things. But Miriam, just touching on, the solidarity with Palestine, it's such an important thing. We're seeing people all around the world, whether you're Muslim, Christian, Jewish, no matter what you are, people are standing in solidarity with Palestine. But let's talk about our local communities right now. And speaking about, the local community of Lodium, why is it so important that, that local community and many others also get involved when it comes to this initiative?
So Lodium has such passionate people, and all of us coming together collectively, uniting as one. We're trying to create that impact. We're trying to say that we know, we see, we hear, and we care. So that's the message we're trying to get out. That's the message we're trying to put forward to the world. We want everybody to know that not just Lodium, but South Africa as a whole is supporting Palestine no matter what it is. We want to support any humanitarian countries that need the help, but obviously Palestine is a passion that we're following right now. And with the Red Card Israel tournament coming up, our main aim is to do that, is to say that we want Israel to be out. We want Palestine to be there. We want Palestine to be shown on every map, everywhere.
No, that's very, very important. And I mean, also just touching on the ICJ case, we can see South Africa is definitely in full support of, in solidarity with Palestine in that sense. Look, Mohammed, I just want to touch on the actual event. We are getting a lot of comments and questions coming in from our audience. People are very excited for this tournament. But maybe perhaps let's run through some of the events that's going to take place throughout the day. I know that there's going to be a youth soccer tournament. There's also a Legends game as well. Tell us more about that.
So, it's really going to be a very exciting day that we've arranged, that we've planned to take place. And basically, like you said, we've got a youth soccer tournament that's taking place. And we've networked with a variety of organizations that's assisting. And that's just basically to get the youth involvement, right? And they're going to feel part of the whole experience. And from there, we've got the Legends game. That's very important because we want to honor the legends that we have in Lodium, in Pretoria, in Gauteng in general, right? So they're going to be playing, we're going to have our seniors playing, over 50s, over 60s playing a game there as well. And that's all in solidarity. That's all showing support and pushing the movement of Red Card once again. We will also be having a variety of stalls, over 35, 40 stalls, as well as an amazing drumming experience. So that's basically protest drumming against Israel and also in solidarity for Palestine. It's very vibrant. It's amazing experience where entire crowd comes together and chants and drums together. It's going to be a very amazing day. There's many activities lined up.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the posters and some of the messaging that was coming out of the tournament as well. And drumming was mentioned quite a lot, you know, and I think it is something very exciting. It's very different to see. But away from that, I just want to touch on something with you, Miriam. You know, looking at these different stalls that are going to be there, I know you said something like 35 stalls or above. Maybe explain to us what type of stalls will actually be there and what can people expect when they do get there?
So we've got a lot of various food vendors that are going to be there, starting from your light snacks like nachos and tacos going into your braais and your grills. It's going to be quite exciting with a lot of sweet desserts as well, waffles and donuts. And then we've also got non-food vendors. So we've got people that are going to be doing bracelets and Palestine merchandise, trying to push that as well. We want to encourage everybody to come and support that, because whatever funds are being raised from that is obviously going back into the team, and they want to take this money home, this funds home, help their families back home. So it's very important that we actually show them the support and show them that that's what we're about. We're about unity.
Yeah, I mean, we are getting questions coming in as well. And Mohammed was actually just asking, to you, Mohammed, in terms of this event in particular, is there going to be a social media aspect to it where people can maybe, tag or mention to be able to even create more awareness away from the actual physical tournament? Because people want, they're saying that they want to actually get involved, but some people live in Durban, some people are living in Cape Town. So how do they get involved?
Okay, so we've got a variety of organizations that will be covering it. Primarily is our local media station. We have the Lodium Sun on it, as well as Lodium Today primarily, so people can go and follow that, and they can tag Red Card Israel as well, so that's quite important. They can also look at the Pretoria Women's Muslim United Group, the Muslim Women's United Group. They're quite involved. We got the Holocaust, the Palestinian Holocaust Committee, as well as Friends of Palestine. So they can go online, they'll follow, we will be broadcasting it live, so primarily follow Lodium Today, and they'll have the event live broadcasted where people can participate and obviously spread the awareness of the whole campaign, because this event will be moving to Cape Town as well, and it's the first time that these youngsters are actually coming from Palestine to South Africa, actually outside of Palestine. It's the first time, so it's going to be a very amazing experience for them as well, and create that much awareness.
No, it's very, very exciting. Guys, definitely let us know on our social media platforms. Are you actually planning on making your way through to Lodium this weekend on Saturday? Remember, it is going to actually be taking place in Lodium. But yeah, I mean, just coming back to the conversation that we're having, and before we do let you guys go in particular, I wanted to just chat about this FIFA ban, Miriam. And we know that there's a huge amount of people out there letting us know that, they want FIFA to ban Israel. I mean, we're looking at the Euros right now, and they are part of UEFA, which means that they could actually be at the Euros, but the team isn't that good. They don't manage to actually get into the major tournaments in most cases. But there's been a huge ban, a big push to be able to ban them. Why is it important that South African people in general also go out of their way to show FIFA that, look, this isn't right, they need to get banned? Why is it so important?
So South Africa has created this presence with the ICJ cases and so forth. And South Africa backing this Red Card Israel gives a big power to Red Card Israel. And that's what we want to create. So we want people to see that the more that you come on board, the bigger the power presence is. And that's the whole aim. So that's the whole idea of Red Card Israel. Let's get as many people on board as possible, and people that are being seen across the world. So Gaza themselves have recognized what South Africa has been doing, and that's what we want to get shown out throughout the world. So if everybody can come on board and hashtag Red Card Israel on social media, whatever it is you're sharing, let's hashtag it. Let's hashtag Red Card Israel, and let's get that presence to be as powerful as possible.
No, I really like that. Guys, before we do let you guys go, Mohammed, maybe just speaking to our audience right now, maybe you can just chat to them and tell us why is it so important that people attend this event on Saturday, and just letting them know why it's so important to be there.
Okay, so basically sports, we must understand it's a very, very powerful tool. It's a very powerful means to use to create, number one, awareness, to create pressure on what's happening in Gaza, in Palestine as a whole. And it was one of the most influential factors that really broke the apartheid regime in South Africa, and we can use that as a model to work in Palestine. So we encourage the public at large to come through, to advertise it as much as possible, to speak about it as much as possible, and just to come on down and to participate, because the larger crowd we have, the more people we're speaking about it, the greater the impact will be, and it's obviously going to mark itself in the history books. So we're asking one and all to spread the awareness.
Mohammed, Miriam, thank you so much for joining us tonight on INX Prime.
Thank you for having us.
Perfect, guys. That is Miriam Abu Bakr as well as Mohammed Razak just sharing with us the importance of this event taking place on Saturday. Remember, it is taking place in Lodium. And please, if you are available, make sure that you do go over there because it's important. It's all in terms of showing a red card to Israel. Now, after the break, we are going to continue this conversation with another individual that is part of the organization. But let's take a quick ad break. We'll come right back. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for joining us. This is INX Prime Live. Remember, we are on your screens every single Monday to Friday between the hours of 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Now, I am joined by Abu Bakr Booby Qasim, who is here to continue the discussion on the impactful movement, which is about Red Card for Palestine. Assalamu alaikum, and thanks for joining us here at INX Prime.
Wa alaikum salam. It's actually very good to be here, and especially up here in Joburg.
No, it's a pleasure to have you. I just want to get into this conversation. I know you play such an important role when it comes to the actual, tournament as well, the event, but also speaking about the involvement of the various different kids, the Palestinians that are going to be involved. I think you play such an important role. I just wanted to know what inspired this initiative, by you guys.
Well, this has been coming on for 20 years. I've been working with the Palestinian program for 20 years. First with Maulana Ihsan Hendricks in Cape Town, and then it just carried on, But the thing that I'm doing is, because sports is my forte, I'm doing sports all my life and things like that. So I use sports as a tool for humanitarian aid, to help others, all the injustice that is happening. So I'm using sports. So if you go out there, you'll see many marches, you see many placards and stuff like that. It's all these organizations, but you don't see the sports people standing up. So I'm using sports to show to the world what injustice is happening in Palestine. And that's the reason why we're bringing teams, we bring people from Palestine, we're taking people out there to get a full understanding of really what's happening. So that's it.
No, and we are going to chat a little bit more about the actual meet and greet that's going to be happening tomorrow. I know that there is going to be, a team that's landing, a youth team from Palestine that's going to be landing at OR Tambo, I think around 1 p.m. So I know that we are going to be chatting about that. But before we get onto that, I know that you spoke about this program running for over 20 years. Let's talk about what the program actually entails.
Well, it's basically Sports Stepping Stones and Sports for Humanity has been working in South Africa for more than 30 years. We used to be in government, and then when we're out of government, we then opened up this NGO, NPC, to carry on with programs. So what we do is to develop our own people. But we also have outside programs in other countries as well. And now, for the last 10 years, the focus is on Palestine. So that's why we do a lot of development programs. So we brought a team from Gaza first in 2018, and then we took a team to Palestine, under 16 team from South Africa. We took them there for youngsters to learn, to get understanding. We believe it's better for youngsters to go and experience this. If they travel, they learn more, they become better. And then just last year, we brought the national team, the Palestinian national team. And now this time, we're bringing a team from Ida camp in Bethlehem, in the refugee camp in Bethlehem. So this has been coming on where a request was put forward to me from the Green Brigade, who is one of the biggest support for Palestine, and their football club Celtic. So they support this particular entity, Ida Camp, and they have been supporting it for a couple of years, more than 7-8 years. But for 5 years, they've been trying to take a team from the Ida Camp and take them to the UK. But just no luck. You know why? No visas was granted to them. It's always a huge struggle in that. And that is when they approached me and said, Booby, please, can you help us and things like that. So because of our link with the Palestinian Football Association and the presidency and things like that, we then took on this initiative. So now we're bringing the team from the refugee camp, Ida refugee camp in Bethlehem. We're bringing them to South Africa. But now the Green Brigade that are also sponsoring this particular team in Gaza, in Bethlehem, some of them is also traveling here to meet with the team and that. So this is a big thing here in Lodium and in Cape Town. And I must say this, the team here in Joburg, they are very good. You know, they've done so much already. And I can just tell you this weekend is going to be huge out here for them.
No, we're definitely looking forward to the event. We know it's happening on Saturday, and again, thank you for the work that you do. Even hearing the symbolic aspect of them being Celtics, we know that the Scottish people are really in solidarity with the Palestinians, without a doubt. And to see Glasgow Celtic, that association, it's really, really nice. I just want to touch on the opportunities, though. Now, I know that, obviously South Africa has been developing football players. Our South African Bafana team finally looks very good now. We have a good development. But, I mean, there's an opportunity now for Palestinian footballers to also get an opportunity. Let's talk about opportunities for the Palestinian people as well as footballers as well.
Good. I'm going to start with the basic, and I'm going to start with our objective. Our objective is to get into Gaza. At this present moment, and for a long time, it's very difficult to get in there. No one can go in, and do humanitarian aid and that. So what do? We do the next best thing. What is that? We go to the refugee camps and see what we can do out there and help. And this is in the West Bank. So when we brought that first team from Gaza out here, there are at least 6 to 7 of those boys that has a better life now. A few of them are playing in other countries. Just 3 months ago, one of the youngsters, Tawfiq, that were here, he's now joined with a team in Lebanon on that. There's another one, Khatim, that lives in Cape Town, that had the opportunity. He got married here. And then some of them went back to Gaza and that. Even their coaches are better equipped. They can't wait to come back here. So those are the kind of opportunities that they get. They get out of it. They see life differently. They play very good soccer. They get the opportunity to play for other teams in other countries. And that is how they can actually support their families in Gaza that are struggling.
I think that's incredible. And I mean, I just want to touch on, and we are getting questions coming in from social media. People want to know about maybe perhaps some case studies that you can share in terms of over the years. You guys have been doing this for 20 years. I'm sure you have some incredible case studies that you can share with us, which really impacted you even as in a positive way.
Well, there's so many of it. When we took our development team from Cape Town and Joburg, when we took those boys out to Palestine, it was the first time that in fact, all of them were traveling. And you know what? When we were out there, they said to me, Coach, I've seen this on TV. It's reality. And their whole perspective around life itself as a young boy from 14 and 16 years old has changed. 3 of them are now playing for top clubs in Cape Town. There's the young boy who was the captain, who's now been even chosen to play for, to be in the academies, in the professional clubs and stuff like that. So these are the opportunities that are there. That is one case of one boy. There was another boy, he comes from an area in Heideveld where he has to struggle to play soccer, to stay away from gangsterism, to stay away from drugs. But what he have learned out in Palestine and said, Coach, I struggle, I have to run in that, but that people are having it worse than me. I'm never going to go back and do it. And these are the kind of things where we actually want to develop our own people, but also assist and help other countries that are struggling, especially like Palestinians. Today, I can say this to you that all of those people that travel to South Africa from Palestine, we are still in touch with them. I'm going to give you a story now. It's a very heartbreaking story. When we had a Palestinian team from Gaza here, we then took them around. They were playing, they were enjoying. We took them to Robben Island, to the cable car. We took them to the beaches and all of that. On the second last day, we were traveling to Reigate where we were playing the last game. And then we came home. And I was sitting with them. And you know what they said to me? And it's still haunting me. And they said to me, Coach, because I was training them. And they said to me, Coach, how can you do this? And I was wondering, what are you guys talking about? And he said, you took us out of Jahannam. You took us to Jannah. And now you're sending us back to Jahannam. I had to send them back to Gaza. So up till today, whatever I do for any Palestinian, whether they're from Gaza, the West Bank, wherever they are, is to provide an opportunity for them, for a better life, to provide for the families out there.
No, the work that you do is absolutely incredible. And I want to touch on something else that you just mentioned. You know, you spoke about the opportunities that you are giving to Palestinian people. I know that there is, political prisoners that you do work with in terms of bringing them down here. Maybe share with us the significance of that as well. Because, I mean, as much as you are helping the young people, you're also helping some of the political prisoners as well.
Okay, so first of all, 90% of this team that are traveling to South Africa, they cannot speak English. They're not allowed to learn English where they were. That some of them are in more privileged schools in Ramallah, and that yes, they learn English and that. So they cannot. So we have people that will interpret for us in that. 90% of them has never been out of that camp. They've never seen the sea. They never traveled. They've never been in an aeroplane. So you can imagine. Now, 3 of them, of the prisoners that's going to come out here, has been in jail. One has been in jail for 27 years, one for 28 years, one not so much than that. So when these prisoners come out of prison, after so long, the Palestinians honor them. They are the heroes because they were standing up for their freedom, like we did in South Africa. We were fighting for our freedom. And in that fight, certain people died. How many people died in the rise here in Soweto? Maybe 200 or so. Out there, they are doing the same thing. Only it's 100 times worse. How many children died? How many old people died? How many medical people died? So they face all of these problems that they are sitting with there, 100 times worse than ours. So when these guys are standing up for their freedom, they've been taken to jail. They in a 3-by-3 cell, maybe 3 or 4 of them, for 27 years. They get 1 hour of sunlight. They are out now. So they're being honored by the people. So when this team travel, they bring these prisoners with them. We're going to host them here, and we're going to show them what our prisoners faced at Robben Island and those kind of things. And we're going to have those exchanges and those kind of things. So we can learn from that. They are here to learn from us. Palestinians believe that South Africa are their savior. They say to us, they want to fight for their freedom the way we did as South Africans. And they believe in us and our support. Hence, this is very important what we are doing.
No, without a doubt. And I think it's so important that we keep our foreign policy the way it actually is, and it should never, ever change in South Africa. Just before we let you go, though, Mr. Kassem, I just want to touch on the meet and greet. A lot of people are commenting and speaking about it. It's happening at 1 p.m. tomorrow, I believe, at OR Tambo. Maybe give us more information on that.
Yeah, some of the Green Brigade are arriving tonight, 3 of them. Tomorrow, the full team is arriving at 13:05. We will be at the airport. We will be making Jummah at the airport and that, and then we will be receiving them. So people are welcome to come and welcome these people. I must just say this to people. Please understand, it's the first time. If you are 24 years old, and you have never been to Masjid al-Aqsa in your life, and Masjid al-Aqsa is only 30 km away from you, you can imagine. They're going to come here. They are so overwhelmed. It's going to be the first time that they're ever in an aeroplane. It's the first time that they've been out of the country. It's the first time that they're ever going to see the sea in Cape Town. So when people come, I'm urging people to come and welcome these people, but just because of how we overwhelm them. We want to do it in stages and step by step, so that these people can feel at home with us. They believe, every Palestinian believes that South Africans are their brothers and sisters.
No, again, thank you so much for what you do, and thank you so much for coming tonight on INX Prime Live.
Shukran so much to you guys.
Perfect, guys. That is Abubakar Bubi Kassem, who just shared with us more information about this event that is taking place on Saturday in Lodium. But don't forget that tomorrow, this team, the Celtic team, would actually be, flying down into South Africa. You can be there from 1:05, and there will be Jummah actually at the airport as well. But guys, on that note, we are going to take a quick ad break. We'll come right back.